The atmosphere in the Oval Office buzzed with quiet anticipation, the kind of stillness that comes right before something unforgettable. President Trump stood confidently near the resolute desk, his iconic red tie sharply contrasting his navy blue suit. He wore a familiar grin, preparing for a group photo with a select bunch of middle school students, part of a nationwide leadership program. Parents, aides, and Secret Service agents stood around the edges, each one playing their role in the high-stakes environment. The children, dressed in their best, shifted nervously. Some whispered behind cupped hands. Others stared in awe at the massive presidential seal beneath their feet. Then, Trump clapped his hands together, his booming voice breaking the silence. "All right, kids, you're the future of this great country. I'm proud to meet you today," he said, blending charm with command in his usual tone. The kids chuckled, a few parents smiling, as a photographer adjusted his camera for the official shot. One of the aides stepped forward with a clipboard. "Mr. President, these students wrote essays on leadership. They've got a few questions for you before the photo." Trump nodded and gestured. "Let's hear what these young leaders have to say." The first few questions were innocent. One student asked about his favorite part of being president. Another wondered if life in the White House was fun. Trump answered with ease, throwing in humor that earned light laughter from the back of the room. Then came a shift. A 12-year-old named Lucas stepped forward. His black suit was slightly oversized, his purple tie neatly knotted. He stood, straighter than the others, his eyes sharp with conviction. There was something different about him, a quiet fire behind his gaze. He took a breath, clenched his hands at his sides, and pointed directly at the president. "Mr. President," he said boldly, his voice ringing out across the room, "my teacher says you're tearing the country apart. Why should I trust you?" Silence fell like a curtain. Every aide froze. The photographer lowered his camera in shock. Lucas's mother gasped, her hand flying to her chest. Even the Secret Service agents subtly tensed, watching Trump for his reaction. All eyes locked on the boy and the most powerful man in the country. Trump's expression shifted. His smile disappeared, eyebrows raised. For a moment, he stood frozen, one hand still on the desk. The seconds dragged like minutes. Lucas didn't back down. His stare was unwavering, though his hands trembled slightly with nerves. The aides exchanged glances, one whispering, "What do we do?" But no one interrupted. Trump finally moved, slowly, deliberately. He stepped away from the desk, crouched to Lucas's level, and met his eyes. "That's a big question, Lucas," he said, his voice low and intense. "A very big question." The tension in the room thickened. Lucas's mother stepped forward nervously. "I'm so sorry, Mr. President. He didn't mean—" Trump raised his hand, silencing her without breaking eye contact. No. Let him finish," he said firmly. "I want to hear him." Lucas swallowed, his voice softer but steady. "My teacher said you don't care about people like me, that you're making things worse. I just want to know if I can believe in you." Trump's jaw tightened, his eyes narrowed slightly. Then something unexpected happened. He smiled, not his usual political grin, but something smaller, more real. "You know, Lucas," he said, his voice calm, "I respect that you're asking hard questions. That's what real leaders do." He paused, letting his words settle before leaning in slightly. "Being president isn't easy. People say all kinds of things about me. Some of it's true, some isn't. But I wake up every day and fight for kids like you, for families like yours. I'm working to build something better, even if not everyone sees it yet." Lucas's tough expression softened. The fire in his eyes flickered into curiosity. Trump continued, more passionately now. "I've got plans, big ones, to make sure you get the best education, to keep your communities safe, to give you a shot at a future filled with opportunities. You can trust me, because I don't quit. I never have. I never will." Lucas nodded, shoulders relaxing. The room finally exhaled. The tension broke. Trump stood, resting a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Keep asking the tough questions, kid," he said warmly. "That's how leaders are made." Lucas smiled for the first time, his nerves finally at ease. The photographer stepped back into position as Trump clapped his hands. All right, let's get that picture. The group huddled together, Lucas now right beside the president. As the camera flashed, Trump gave the boy a firm handshake. The visit wrapped up, and Trump personally walked them to the door. You're brave, Lucas, he said, voice sincere. Never stop speaking up. Lucas nodded, his smile wider, now, and followed the group out. His mother turned back, offering a quiet, grateful, thank you. Trump watched them go, his expression a mix of pride and focus, then turned back to his desk, ready for whatever came next. Did that moment surprise you? If it did, hit subscribe and leave a comment below. We've got more powerful stories coming your way.